Hey, what's happening? Before we jump into the show, I wanted to see if you had any music on a hard drive. You have a band, you have a project, and you want to self-release your own music. Well, there's an easy way to do it. You can go to distrokid.com/VIP/hyphenate and go get your music up on all the streamers. You keep 100% of your royalties, and you can get 30% off by using this code. It's a great, easy way to get your music up on the streamers and share it with your fans, your friends, your family, your mom, your dog, everybody. Everyone wants to hear it. But go to distrokid.com/VIP/hyphenate, HYPHENATE, and send me the link. I want to hear it too. Send your mom the link. Send your dog the link. They all want to hear it too. We'd like to thank our sponsor, iZotope, the absolute leaders in intuitively designed plugins for audio restoration, mixing, and mastering. At iZotope.com, you'll find a plethora of tools and suites that will enhance your audio production, whether it's voice, video, podcast, or a full production recording session. Check out the industry-standard audio repair tool, RX11, or the multi-tool mixer plugin, Neutron 5, or the powerful Ozone 11 mastering suite, plus tons more. Go to iZotope.com and use the code FRET10 at checkout for 10% off. That's FRET10 to get 10% off at checkout. And again, the website is iZotope.com, IZOTOPE.com. What's happening, everybody? Today is September the 22nd. Yesterday was the 21st of September. Do you remember? We remembered it. It was yesterday. Does everybody remember yesterday, the 21st of September? Well,
is that an official holiday? I feel like that should be an official holiday.
Earth, Wind, and
Just
Fire holiday.
Of that song.
Yeah. I think it's great. Somebody's telling me that they have a birthday on that day, and it makes it easy for everyone to remember and sing the song. This is a Hyphenate halftime podcast. Joining me, as always, hear the voice you've heard, the very Earth, Wind, and Fire, Barry White-esque, getting over a cold, Aaron Farley. How you doing today, sir?
Yeah, I think I'm still in the cold.
No.
Oh, it's the worst.
Is it COVID?
I don't know what it is.
Did you take a test?
I don't think so.
Oh, God. Okay.
I mean, I never had a fever.
Oh, that's a good sign. And you weren't coughing.
I feel like whenever the times I had COVID, it started with my chest kind of hurts, and I have 102 fever. Yeah. So this time, I've just had this. I don't know. You can hear it.
The regular cold, the head cold.
Even when I was at school, I was like, well, I'm going to school. I'm going to work because I don't feel sick at all. But my voice just kept getting deeper and deeper.
Hey,
and the kids were like, are you depressed?
Oh,
that's a big one. I'm like,
that's very nice of them to think of that.
Yeah, it's nice to think of. I'm like, am I acting depressed? They're like, no, you don't. You're not acting depressed, but you do sound depressed.
Oh, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I'm not depressed at all.
I don't know, man. The whole world, man. Come on,
get off my back. You don't know me.
Get off my back, kids. Why don't you just do your work for once? Maybe then I wouldn't be depressed.
Oh, man. Well, we are here to talk about last week's interview with Russell Edling of the band Golden Apples. They're on tour. They're playing here in LA at the Masonic Lodge, which is different than the Lodge Room. The Masonic Lodge is the Masons Hall at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery. They're playing there on tomorrow, Tuesday, September 23rd. There we go. That's the correct month. I was going to say June, July. No, September.
June 14th.
Yeah. Have you been inside that venue? The Masonic Lodge at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery? I
didn't know it even existed.
It's trippy. It's like, you've been to the Hollywood Forever Cemetery though? Mm-hmm. It's like when you pull in, it's off to the left. It's the first kind of building off to the left. And it's gorgeous. At the show, there's like a big kind of like hall, like marble hall space on the second floor, and I saw Sun play there.
Oh wow.
And it was loud. It was, of course, but it's a big marble room that's kind of bouncy, for sound, kind of echoey for sound up there.
Wow. So is it made for like the Masons?
I guess so.
Do their stuff?
Yeah, there must be something for the Masons.
I have an interesting Masonic Lodge story.
Ooh, tell me.
It's kind of, I feel like I feel like you and I didn't realize that we were both into conspiracy theories for a long time. I feel like
true.
we knew each other for a long time before we found out that we like secretly listened to some of the same podcasts and stuff. Like, wait, you listen to that one too? Ancient Aliens?
Oh, well, yeah, that's my Art Bell or these kind of things. Yeah,
but I mean, I'm more like
armchair.
Starting with Art Bell and then like slowly going from that type of conspiracy theory.
Becoming like radicalized into
I mean, the funny thing is that I have like, oh, cool, this is good. And you get into like the Rothschilds and you get into the whatever, all that stuff. But the basic part of it, like when it was just written in books.
Not the anti-Semitic part of it all.
No, but just the banking, whatever, all that stuff. But that's what I was going to say though. And then you're listening to that stuff and then you hear and then the Jews and you go,
no!
wait. Hold on. I thought we were just talking about banking and like drug cartels,
secret cabals,
like heroin, like people like that World War I was really about the drug wars and trying to control heroin trade. You get into all of that good stuff, and then all of a sudden it goes to this other way, and I don't feel like it's even a slippery slope. I feel like it's a cliff because it's all kind of fun and games, and then all of a sudden the cliff drops out, and you go, wait. This was kind of fun for a second. This isn't fun anymore.
Yeah.
And so then you quit that one. You're like, okay, I'm not
definitely not into this. I'm not into this kind of weirdness. Yeah, this is too much.
You're basically like you're if a conspiracy theorist is not careful, they all go the 12 steps of Kanye. Don't you think?
Oh,
like you're
absolutely.
going this way where you're like, oh, there's this guy, this is a political guy, and then it's like the fun guy, and then he becomes kind of political because he gets some money and he goes, wait, this is kind of screwy. This whole thing is kind of screwy. Then he gets on TV with Mike Myers during Katrina, and he goes, George Bush hates black people, right? Like that's the term.
Okay, well, that's probably not.
And then you're like,
I can see that not being wrong. It's right. Yeah,
probably George Bush does not think of himself that way, but his policies do skew that way.
Sure,
often, especially in Katrina. During Katrina when all these things happen. And then it just slowly erodes into him making Nazi paraphernalia for shirts. And you're like, how, where? Okay. But that's the conspiracy theory, like bell curve. Is that the Kanye bell curve?
Yeah.
And usually the other conspiracy theorists just don't have $1 billion to like just keep it going. They just have their little thing, and then they get into whatever book that is that says like, well, you know what it really is. And so anyway,
I
don't know how we get over that.
I like a good ancient alien theorist. I feel like that's the fucked part when it's like the guy George with Cosmatos, or what's the guy with the big hair, and then
yeah,
it'd be like
totally
him, and like, well, the Phoenicians had their planting and irrigation tools, but they also talked about a big ball of fire in the sky. And then Hitler, you're like, no.
Yeah, totally.
Like,
well, but then you get all of that stuff, and then it goes to the CIA. I love a good.
Sure.
I mean, I listen to CIA stuff all the time. MK Ultra, the whole thing. Then you get into the Charlie, the
XCX?
murderer.
Oh, Manson.
No.
Oh, okay.
Charlie Manson. You get to Charlie Manson stuff. You can get. It's just so like you get into so much fun, crazy, like Laurel Canyon. It goes forever.
I like to keep it X-Files. If this could be on an episode of X-Files, I'm in. I kind of stay more in that way. I think and those, they had the smoking guy, and they had the conspiracy. There was enough conspiracy happening in there, but I don't really follow it much further than that in terms of the big plan. Like, oh well, here's how we fix this, or Unabomber-esque kind of things. I try to stay away as soon as it gets a little too close to home or violent.
I'll get into the CIA and the I love a good Stanford prison experiment.
Oh, well,
I love a good
sure.
That's good.
I mean, I love a good like finding out that the CIA is funding a lot of psychedelic research and all that stuff.
Sure.
I love it. I'm in.
It's like Stranger Things. They have the kids with the superpowers.
Yeah,
somewhere in a
totally.
place.
And then it always gets to a point to where they're like, and then here's the stories we don't quite know. We have all of the information for everything up until this point. Yeah. Because then you also just think of how people are, and like people are like people can get real crazy and power hungry, but they can also just get really bored. And it's like you never work, like I imagine even if you're at the CIA, like you never, not everybody there is not into their job. It's just like any other job. It's like if you work at an ad agency, it's like it's like probably 40% of the people are into like really into it.
Yeah.
And then the other bit are kind of like, I don't know, man. I just have a job. Can we just get this done and go home? And you got to imagine like the CIA is probably the same way. The FBI, like all of the, you've met
they aren't zealots.
Like
they're in a system. Yeah, they're kind of trained into a system. Yeah,
you got the people that want to get to the top and are like pushing, like all I want to do is become the director of the CIA, whatever. Those people are always gonna like be that guy or woman. And then everyone else is kind of like, I don't know, man.
Well,
maybe someday I'll write a book. I don't know. I'll get out of here.
I'm a firm believer when it comes to any of these conspiracy theories that if at any point it's on like the History Channel or in some way making its way to my ears and my eyes through Facebook or any other large major media conglomerate, if these theories are coming, I don't have a back channel. I don't have any kind of dark web sort of experience or a handle. I'm not on CB radios. Like I experience all of my media in New York Times font. It's like all pretty much big media. So that if at any point these things get to me, I always have to consider that as a thing too. Like if I know about this, chances are there's some other kind of psyop or something else going on in which the general public is being asked to consider these irrational things, and those just kind of go under conspiracy theory sort of ideas. However, it could be enough to just enough to sort of salt the the populace with doubt or with an alternate version of reality, where you just like, let's just put out just enough stuff for anybody on the fringe who may be curious, to like get them to question this whole system. Cause I think that's a big part of any kind of, control is also you account for the blowback and the blow, you know what I mean? And you have to account for like that letting off steam of any kind of controlled media operation that, people are, you can't have them just eating the whole time. They're going to have to they're going to go sideways and they're going to blow out and have farts and, you know what I mean? Just in terms of like a consumption of messaging. So you have to take into account that kind of like pushback, and you can almost manufacture that in its own kind of way, which I think is, if I were to really be honest, I think conspiracy theories probably sit firmly in that sort of like, well, that's part of the plan too. The plan is to have you question the plan.
They let it go for a reason.
Yeah. But they're also going to control it in certain ways. Let's keep it in aliens. Let's keep it CIA. Yeah. The CIA is doing it. When the reality is
watching everything.
Yeah. Men in Black as a big movie, produced by Steven Spielberg. It's like, be aware of the guys. Meanwhile, you see, you might see things on TV and you go, oh, that doesn't look like that guy. That guy's wearing a Tommy Bahama shirt and a baseball hat, or he looks like he's playing golf.
Magnum PI.
Yeah, they don't look like the thing we've been told to question and think is suspicious. And it kind of helps them hide more in plain sight if there were to be any kind of, clandestine organizations controlling the world in any kind of unusual ways.
There has to be. I mean, there has someone actually brought up
allegedly.
I say there has to be. Someone, I don't remember. Whatever. It could have been anything I was listening to, but someone brought up this thing that it was like, you don't think the world is controlled? And someone was, saying like, no, it can't be. And they were like, all the street lights look the exact same everywhere in the world. And the person's like, and he's like, yeah, red, yellow, green, everywhere. That's control. And I was like, oh, That's not a bad point. Like, right.
Standardization, okay. But it depends what you want it to mean.
But literally everywhere. There's not like, it's not like, oh, well, this country, they have these crazy light systems. And I mean, some countries just don't have street lights, and it's just craziness.
Yeah.
But any kind of like semblance of, they're like, no, there's like, because there's only a certain amount of people that have the ability to build structures in that size, and those companies are all multinational companies, and it becomes this big thing where you go like, well, you want to be a part of the world or you don't want to be a part of the world, and it's much smaller than you think it is with all the people and everything, but the actual the chance of, or the ability to build something of that magnitude is so difficult that there's only so many people who know how to get the steel onto a boat, or get the steel even made.
I see what you're saying.
And then get that steel onto a boat, and then get
contracts.
that boat to your country, and then get the people that know how to build a skyscraper and design, whatever. That it's like, there's no way it couldn't be controlled, because if it wants to be kind of like a global thing, like every single country or every single state is not going to have to relearn how to build a building. You're going to go out and find someone who already knows how to do it and pay them to do it, or whatever. It was a very interesting, like, just the street lights thing. It was like every street light's the same.
Yeah.
Red, yellow, and green. I was like, okay.
Yep.
That actually is a very succinct point. I get it.
No one's rocking the boat.
And they're all controlled by Kanye West.
That I know. Well, but the stonecutters, of course, they're the ones.
Oh, the stone-masons. Oh, back to the Masons.
That was where
this
all started. Yeah, of course.
Okay, so I'm in San Francisco, and it was when I used to shoot photos for MySpace secret shows.
Yeah.
Shout out to Isaac Walters.
Not a clandestine organization.
Well, at that point, they were owned by Fox. I think Fox News had bought them. So
but they were secret shows, though. They weren't telling anybody about.
They were shows. Very secret. They were. It was actually such a genius. I loved that. Like, that was like Isaac's baby, and he was like, "I want to have these secret shows, big bands, little venues, and we announce it 24 hours beforehand. They're free, and you have to line up. It's first come, first serve." They were awesome, and I did a bunch of them. And we would shoot like that band Phoenix in a bar in like rural Missouri. And there would be like 300 people outside, and not enough, like 100 people could fit inside. So they just opened the doors and let everybody listen outside. It was awesome. There were so many good shows.
Yeah.
And I think the bands actually really liked them too, because a lot of those bands hadn't played like small shows in a long time. Anyway, this was part of the secret shows universe, and it was Weezer, and they were playing at the Masonic Hall in the Bay Area. I believe it's the Bay. Yeah, maybe even Sacramento. I don't know. Somewhere in California. I don't know. Not Los Angeles.
Okay.
Anyway, we go and sometimes if the band was cool with it, I would get to take like portraits beforehand. So I'm like searching around. They're like, yeah, just walk around. And it was not a working Masonic hall anymore. It was owned by somebody else. But so we were walking around as this kind of tall, skinny building, 5 or 6 floors. And we're going up and we're walking around, and they're like, yeah, there's some weird room up in the top. And so we go up to the top and open it. And it's this big, tall, like this room with like 20-foot tall ceilings. And in the back, we're like, what are those things hanging from the ceiling in the back? So we go in the back, and they're all they're like pullouts for if you were going to do a play about like a Masonic play about like the 7 levels of hell or whatever, whatever the kind of like play, the Masonic Templar, all that stuff. And they had these huge screens that they'd pull out that were backgrounds, and you could pull them out, and it was like one of the scenes, and you'd pull it out, but then you'd pull out another one. Yes.
Wow. They're gigantic.
Is that it?
It's a side adventure that trapdoors and hellish landscapes at the Regency Masonic Building.
Where is that?
Obscure. I think in San Francisco. Oh, here, there's more of them.
Oh, yeah.
The
Okay, so that's
backdrops.
probably what it is.
Yeah. Well, this is saying this is saying Minnesota Masonic Heritage Center.
But that's what it looked like, though.
Oh, okay.
So then you had one. See how they have all those different layers?
Yeah.
So you'd have one, and then you could get in between them.
Oh,
and then you'd pull another one, and it would like add another thing in the back.
So they're kind of cutouts. Yeah.
But it was all like old, like it hadn't been used in years. And
trip out.
And so they would have, it was like where you'd have these Masonic plays, I guess. And it was amazing. And then I was like, oh my God, I want to shoot Weezer up here so bad. And then they got there and they weren't like,
they freaked out.
No, they just weren't like, I took photos and the guy the drummer was like very weird, not into photos, and was like complaining that my flash was too bright. So it's a weird one. Rivers was really nice. And Brian was super. I had met Brian before, but
that's cool.
Cause he has lived in Eagle Rock. That's
so funny.
But yeah, it was like one of those experiences of like, well, you can shoot a photo of them in the like the stairwell. And I was like, okay, that's awesome. I mean, it's Weezer, it's rad.
Sure.
I walked and then took like 2 photos and like literally like my camera flash, and the drummer was like,
no,
man, you're gonna keep having that flash go off, man. It's like bright. And they just got off of the sound check with the strobe lights, like with everything going so crazy. And I was like,
sensitive eyes.
I was like, I don't know, man. I only got so many more or whatever. I was like, yeah, that's fine. I got it. I got like 2 frames and I was kind of over it.
Yeah.
But Rivers was nice.
That's cool.
I don't know.
What do you got?
Everybody doesn't. You know what? Everyone doesn't need to be nice to me. I gotta get it.
He has a very.
I need to be a little bit tougher skin.
He has a very important job. He has to play drums for Weezer. So
yes.
Hey.
He also had the thing where he had his songs too.
Oh no!
Right, and he would come out and play guitar and stuff.
Really? I didn't know they let him do that.
Yeah.
Well, good for him.
Yeah, because I think Josh Freeze played with them for those songs.
Oh, you just have him on standby, waiting to.
Yeah, Josh Freeze is like one of the nicest guys in the world.
Oh, that's good. I've never met him.
Yeah,
he used to play in the Disneyland band. His dad was
Did he really?
head of entertainment at Disneyland. Josh Freeze. He like booked all the bands and was in charge, I think, of all like the entertainment stuff that happened, the live entertainment.
That's amazing.
And then, he gave his son a job there when he was still a teenager. I think he played in all his Orange County, punk bands and ska bands and whatnot.
Yeah. He played in every band. I mean, now
still does.
He's played in Devo, and he's playing like 9 Inch Nails, and he's like the guy you call.
I guess so.
Yeah, but super sweet dude.
Cool. Well, yeah, the Masons Hall. Yeah, I've played a couple of Masons Halls and been in a few of them. Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know anything about the whole deal. It seems like I think I'd read somewhere that it was just this kind of made up thing in terms of the conspiraciness of it all. I think these guys were just kind of weird dorks, and it had something to do with about engineering. But I don't know.
33rd level Masons.
I don't know.
Oh, that's what they would have you believe, Randy. Oh, we're just a bunch of dorks. We don't have 3/4 of the American presidents are not Masons. Never. That would never happen.
But I guess even but the college level too, right? I mean, it's like Yale and Harvard. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it feels like,
oh my God, I love that level of stuff so much.
Princeton,
like when they have the secret skulls that you have to
that's the one, right?
Go find and all that stuff. Oh, I love it. I don't know why I love it so much. The funny thing is, our daughter has started. She's like, "Dad, do you listen to conspiracy theories?" I'm like, "I do."
Well, yes.
Why do you ask?
Yes. Do you have questions? Can we talk about this?
But she brought up something about. God, I don't remember even what it was.
JFK.
We were talking about it, and she's just like, "Well, I mean, whatever. All this stuff that's going on right now, and then they have TikTok and whatever, and I mean, you're just hearing like, I don't know, this person was 15 minutes away from here and they didn't even have time. They're starting to
the stories
see
are out there.
all of the Montauk. I feel like the first one I got into was like was it the Montauk Project or something? There was some book about some secret military. You should look this up. I'm sure it's there. It was like some secret military thing in Montauk that it was like an atomic. They were doing atomic research and time travel, and some people got stuck in a boat. I don't know. I don't remember. I'm vaguely remembering this, and so, but it was one of those things where I was like,
"Oh, experiments in time."
I want to know all of it. I want to know, I want to know what that guy says. Like, oh, this is the part that this is classified. I can't go any further. And I'm like,
no,
what is it about
give
that?
It to me.
What is it about that makes me go, there's got to be something, even though that person's like, no, there's nothing. They tell me to say, like, stop here and tell them the rest is classified.
Just tune in.
That'll keep them
for the next.
That'll
episode.
keep them going for. Yeah, that'll keep them going for 20 years. Trust me.
Oh my God, it's hilarious. Well, I do think that's
just give them a thing with a bunch of Sharpie marks at the end that looks like we took a bunch of stuff out. That there never was anything there. It just says redacted underneath.
Oh my God, yeah. I think that's a huge part of any conspiracy thing is that the desire to believe is so strong because you want to make sense of the world. Like it's such a chaotic place, and not saying that there aren't crazies and there isn't some higher level of even just like at school, it's like, yeah, the kids don't know everything that the principal knows, and they don't need to know.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's like
totally.
It's not for them, but in the same, it's like, is that a conspiracy? Like maybe you could spin it like that, but really he just got a better deal on hamburger meat, and yeah, it's a little less quality, but it's going to save a lot of money, and he's going to funnel that money into the sports teams or whatever else.
Sure, some of you might get sick.
But there's a certain level of of diarrheas that the plumbing can handle. It's but the idea of believing in the conspiracies or looking for it, I think ultimately is that like that need for if not control, but some kind of sense of safety. I think there's probably more of a psychological sort of makeup. I'm not saying this is you, but it just in general, I try to keep myself in check with that too, of like, being like wanting all the answers. It's like it's more comfortable to think that there are even answers out there rather than sitting in the totally. The discomfort of this is a chaotic, wild, greedy, dog eat dog and fuck everybody over kind of world of just animals on this higher level order, still just callously murdering people for 1/10 of power than they had the day before, and not caring about who gets killed or exploited or destroyed or cultures or time, all these things. It's like, I think people are just horrific in mass. It's kind of misanthropic view of it all, but to the degree that it's like, follow the money, follow the greed, follow the power, and it becomes it's a conspiracy, but it's also just everybody's like scraping for two more pennies than the guy that had it before him, and we end up in this horrific capitalistic mind fuck of the whole thing of just like, great. I went down the Larry Ellison rabbit hole. That's fun. The guy who bought Paramount and maybe buying Warner Brothers. I think I always kind of keep like entertainment world too. So I'm sort of still reading the calendar section of the LA Times. but here we go. It goes back to the CIA. His dad, Larry Ellison, who owns Skydance and just bought Paramount. Mm-hmm. His father created Oracle software, which is kind of like as big as Microsoft, and then he created the first version of Oracle, I guess, was a database for the CIA. It was like one of the early kind of like, ways of like challenging the IBM sort of data savings and recovery and ways to pull up more information. And then this Oracle thing, I guess, was better than that, whatever IBM had, or at least he got the contract with the CIA. But even just in the last 10 years, and then that will then diversifies onto more and more tech stocks and other things and media buys. But just in the last 15 years, I think in 2010, the father was at $10 million. It says on the Wikipedia. And again, this is all, I'm just reading Wikipedia. I don't have any kind of inside information, but that was in 2010, and then now in 2025, I think it's $400 billion. So something happened within the last 15 years. I think he made headlines last month for being the richest person for like 6 minutes on the Forbes list. And then Elon did something and topped him, but he's just under the Elon Musk thing, but a lot quieter in some ways. But the Sun is buying up media companies and is also working with Trump. And that was the big thing that pushed Stephen Colbert out, because Skydance wanted to buy Paramount, which was the parent company of the CBS. And so this is before Jimmy Kimmel, but the thing, where before they would approve the sale of Paramount to Skydance, they said, well, you got to cancel you got to cancel Stephen Colbert. And so they did. But I guess they didn't take him off the air, right? They didn't say that day. They're letting him finish out his contract. So they learned their lesson with that. And they're like, okay, no, we're not even going to tell him to cancel the show. We're going to go the other way, where we can get him off the air immediately by going through.
Just give him the money and let him go.
What is this Nexstar? The people who own the affiliates are also in cahoots as conservative, people. And so they're just not going to they're going to run a tribute to the guy and then not have this thing. So interesting. Well, all of this kind of stuff. It's like, oh gosh, it's like, okay. But the Ellison is definitely a interesting sort of figure in that world.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. What do you even say about it? And that it's like
they have a lot of money and
Fox,
they will murder you.
It was Fox News, and it was what's his name, Rupert Murdoch. And then before that, it was, in the 20s, who owned all the papers. Right. The guy that has
Citizen Kane and, well, there's Getty, which was, from oil.
The Gettys.
What was Citizen Kane based on? Oh, well, Hearst, William Randolph Hearst. Mm-hmm. That was the Citizen Kane.
Hearst Castle.
Yeah. I read a great book about the Teapot Dome scandal, which was really fun if you're getting into old conspiracy theories.
Ooh. I don't know.
It was based on Sinclair. Again, it's just old Hollywood stuff, but he built these mansions, these Doheny mansions. It's part of like a public museum now that you can go visit in Beverly Hills, which I'd like to, but they're just huge palatial estates. But Sinclair Oil is sort of where it all starts. So Sinclair, the elder, had oil rights to all these different places. And at one point he had a personal mercenary army that invaded Mexico to take their oil in northern Mexico, and just went in against the government of Mexico, but with the backing of the American government. And so it was this kind of like, not so private war that he had just in order to take oil. But the big Teapot Dome scandal is there was all of this oil somewhere in like Wyoming or Denver, somewhere in the middle, wherever the teapot was, in the middle of the country. And technically the oil rights in America at the time were controlled by the Navy. Some that had like rights to all the oil because their ships ran on oil or in gasoline. They needed they needed to refine the oil and turn to gasoline to use for their warships. So this is just sort of how it was allocated. And what he did is he saw that this was there, and he went to them and made them a deal that he would build a pipeline from California to Hawaii, and he would refine the oil and turn it into gasoline. Because it's in essence, then the government having the rights to the oil is value, right, of a resource, but they don't have the infrastructure to process it and then to pipe it to wherever it needs to be. And again, like you said, about like a company, that knows how to build skyscrapers. It's like, here's this guy, this captain of industry, baron of industry in the 20s. He says, well, I can do all that for you. Just give me the rights, just sign the rights over to me and I'll do it all for free, or I'll give you the deal that you need for it. Cause you want to get it out for the warships. And this is before World War I even, I think. And they're like, sure, sounds like a great deal. And he paid somebody off in order to make sure the deal went through, in order for it to be a great deal. And the way he paid him off was he had his son, who was closeted gay, and the boyfriend of the son who they were buying his tuition to go to USC, for the son and the boyfriend, and just because they're just roommates. But he sent the son on a trip to New York, and then he sent him with a briefcase of like whatever, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of dollars from New York down to DC to leave the briefcase, to have the lunch with somebody and leave a briefcase there. And so now the son and the boyfriend are implicated in this payoff. And the first congressional hearing, they brought Sinclair up because it came news like, well, wait, why does this oil guy get all the rights to all the oil? And he wasn't doing what he was supposed to be doing. So once it hit the news, and it was a big scandal. And so they call up the elder Sinclair for all of his misdeeds, and he gets off. He passes the congressional thing. He's fine. But then they have a second congressional thing and this time they're going to call up the son and the boyfriend. And they're going to put that in front of everybody, that the son's gay and his lover dropped the money off. They were actually the bagmen. They were going to do that. So instead of having that happen, the dad has the son and the boyfriend murdered in this huge mansion in Bel Air.
Oh my God.
But they make it seem like it's a murder-suicide,
Yeah.
And it's gruesome and it's bad, and that hits all the gossip papers and everything, and they're just trying to keep it clear. But rather than have his son and the boyfriend be pulled up in front of Congress, they just murdered him. When I think there were elements of this story that were taken for There Will Be Blood and this kind of thing of like, this sort of rich old deranged man. I don't think he murdered him himself. He probably had it set up with goons and whatnot, but this is like the 20s. This is the, the basis of so much of like the country, and, it's within a, 100 years, a little over 100 years ago. And I think you just keep pulling the strings, and it just unravels more and more and more. And like, okay, well, these are stories again of greed and disregard for human life and just power run rampant. You own those
kings and kingdoms and kings and queens and like, yeah,
the barons.
I mean,
these
when
names
you hear,
and things. And Sinclair Oil still exists today. I mean, you see the little green, the little green dinosaur. That's the residual tale of this thing that, I don't know whatever ended up happening to the overall thing, but then the story went on to the Warner Brothers and Jack Warner, and then went to the next day. It was a great book. I should look it up. It was something, some book here.
When you find out how much all of those things are tied together, I mean, I feel like I listened to part of a book. I don't think I ever finished it, but that was about just how so many of the early banks were based on drug, like opium, and like, and it really was like, oh yeah, that's big deal. They're like, no, JP Morgan, look it up. Like it's like they used to run these ships from China and like all of these, and it was all these different for every single firm, every single bank, and then you think of like the Afghanistan war, it's poppy fields, and then heroin comes back, and then all of a sudden everybody's hooked on what was it a couple years ago, or it's still happening, fentanyl and like all of those things, and you're like, wow, where'd you get all those poppies from? Like whatever, like who did this, who did that? And good conspiracy theories.
I know. I remember reading something that Ian Svinonis had written, where it was like, if you look at the drug of the decade, or what was fueling rock and roll, you can trace it to where the government was at war with, and what drugs they had in those countries. So like in the 80s, during all the South American dictatorships and banana republics and overthrowing these things in Nicaragua, those where all the cocaine was coming up, and that's where the cocaine was flooding, the music scene, and obviously these drug crises are almost, that sort of sense of they're manufactured. That film American Gangster, the Ridley Scott movie with Denzel Washington and James Brolin and what's the other guy, the Russian, or no, not Russian, the Australian guy, Gladiator. What's his name? Russell Crowe. Yeah. That was great. But that's where they're shipping the heroin back inside the coffins of the deceased vets from Vietnam. They pull the drugs out of there. I don't know.
I mean, how are you going to fund these things? You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So the May song. So yeah, Golden Apples from Philadelphia, City of Brotherly Love, are on tour right now.
Yeah.
I thought it was fun. It was fun talking to him about all the touring and all of the getting eaten alive by mosquitoes.
Oh my gosh.
He slept outside.
I do. I mean, it does bring up what we've talked about so many times of like being on tour is like being pirates.
Yes.
I think that there is a certain personality that appeals to mostly younger people.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I thought it was fun sometimes. I didn't really love it. I was never in a situation where it was very profitable, or like I was even when I was on tour with other, like going out with a band to do photos and merch and stuff. It was always like pretty rough, and I felt like as a photographer I was like, well, I don't know if I want to keep doing this. I don't know how good I want to get at doing this because I don't think I can do this all that often. I'm not like, but then I knew some photographers who loved it and became really good at tour managing.
Yeah, Robin Lanigan.
That's exactly who I was thinking of. Is like the tour managing photographer position is like, for someone who's very organized and really good at that, I think is like a pretty sweet position. Like it's a good, because you're actually getting paid it's like a legit job. And you're if you do it well, you'll get hired by bigger bands, because tour managing is so kind of difficult and such a unique, just, you're just managing a lot of personalities and a lot of, just pirates. Like even the venues, it's not just like the managing the artists here. It's like every venue is different. You're dealing with so many people that are trying to make an extra buck here and there, and trying to make you not make an extra buck here and there. And it's a tough one, but I think for people who are good at that, and also a photographer, your access is kind of undeniable. So
you get that front row seat,
awesome.
And that sort of, probably capturing images you would never be able to get otherwise.
Yeah. You're kind of like a member of the band, you're
like, you're part of the crew.
You're like a part of the crew, but you're also like personal. It's like a very personal job.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, because you're also dealing with like people who don't want to come home in time to leave, and it's like you're kind of probably a parent, and you're a friend, and you're a nurse, and you're like a little bit of everything, trying to manage.
Well, you also
this whole thing going, and
you get to
a mechanic.
You get to yell at the band, but you could still be fired by the band. So it's that sensitive sort of spot. But also, what a great thing for a photographer. You know what I mean? Where the band just inherently knows to listen to you and not ask too many questions.
Yeah.
So they'll go stand over there. No, turn your face this way. Tilt your head. You stand over here. Okay, go.
Yeah.
Everybody, loading time is this time. Go get your stuff. Set it up. Go.
Yeah. And having that kind of trust with a band too, where you can shoot photos and they trust that you're not trying to like take advantage of the situation,
right?
In the sense that
they know you,
like you're there as a part of like you're documenting, and you have the trust to be in those spots that other photographers, like magazine photographers or something, probably aren't going to get that kind of the more intimate moments and stuff.
Right. That's crazy. Yeah. But I've always got the sense too of like the touring, where it always was like the allure was like, we got away with it. Like, even if it wasn't a successful tour financially or any, it was just the fact that we made it. We played all the shows, and then you survived somehow. It was a big kind of feeling of like, woo, okay. How did we do that? Like, I don't know. Kind of you get away with something by the skin of your teeth. And it was always just like, okay, all right, now we got to do it again. Can we do it? Then you get like a taste where it's like a heist or something in a weird way, where you're like, I don't know what we're really stealing here. But the fact that we, it's like, okay, if we plan this right down to the thing, like you get excited to like pull off bigger and dumber things every time you do it. You know, you're like, okay, well, we got away with it last time. Now let's see how far we can push it. Can we, you know, just whatever it is, like more shows and more. I feel like that's kind of how it was for like South by Southwest. For like, there was about 5 years where we went every year and it was like, can we play more shows? Can we do dumber things? What's the like dumbest thing we could do while we're here?
Yeah. And like get more t-shirts and do, I mean, the other thing is like, you do get to do all that. Like you get to design shirts and you're always meeting new people and you get to play with different bands that, you know, you've never met before, or like, oh my God, we're playing with this band that I love. And I mean, even us as like a small, dumb band, like we got to play with some great people, you know. It's like we'd get thrown on a bill with like US bombs or something.
Dwayne
like,
Peters,
US bombs. Oh my God, man. We played in some dive bar in Oakland with US bombs once.
That sounds
gnarly. Because we were traveling through there to go to Portland. We were actually doing this thing where we had built all these little pirate radio.
Oh, right,
things.
right.
I think I told you about this.
You guys literally were pirates.
Yeah. And we were handing out these antennas with a little pirate radio thing that you'd hook onto your computer. And we were going through Oakland, and of course, Chris knew all these like anarchist kids and stuff, and then someone booked us on this show with US bombs in a bar, and at that point, I mean, I knew Dwayne Peters from skateboarding and stuff, but I didn't know. I had never listened to US bombs. And we go and, you know, he just walks in and you're like, oh yeah.
Oh shit.
Dwayne Peters.
Here we go.
This is like the real guy. This is like his teeth missing, you know, the whole thing.
Yeah.
And comes in and like running the place, you know, he just walks in like super fun too. It's like, wow, this is crazy. And then at that point, his girlfriend, maybe wife, I don't know. She's like 6 feet tall, like heels, like making her like taller than 6 feet tall. And she maybe plays bass. I don't know. Did he play guitar? He played guitar.
Know. I never saw
whatever.
Them. I just do.
But anyway, she played the other one. So if he played guitar, she played bass.
Okay.
But then she spit fire. And so then we closed, like, you know, you either open when you're a band like we were, you either open the show or you close the show at like 2. So you either play at like 8 o'clock or you play at 2.
Whatever the worst spot was. Yeah.
We were closing. Yeah. We were playing after everybody would leave after US bombs. So they played, we're trying to like pack or like set up as quick as possible to start before everybody leaves. And the floor is soaked with kerosene.
Oh,
because, you know, when someone like, it's kind of like your pig's blood story. I feel like.
Yeah.
Except for it didn't smell so bad, but you know, they're like putting kerosene. She's putting kerosene in her mouth and like,
that's
blowing it. So
gnarly.
whatever kerosene doesn't start on fire,
just falls to the ground,
just falls. And so then we go to put our stuff and we're like slipping around everywhere, trying to put our amps and stuff up. And then we're like, you can't even, like, no one can even stand up in front or anywhere near us because you can't even stand on this like wooden floor, whatever it was,
soaked with kerosene. You just hope that nobody's going to try to light a cigarette.
Oh my God. And I'm like, this has to be super dangerous.
Yes.
Like this whole place is going to go up. And it was like, I don't know, it was a tiny little room, tiny little bar.
Ugh.
But yeah, it made me think of those kind of like even we didn't play that many shows outside of LA. You know, we got to tour in Australia, which was awesome. But again, only because we had friends there and they could actually get better shows if they had an American band.
Okay.
So like this band was from the US, even though no one knew who, but it was great. They were like, we can actually we can get you guys a guarantee that will pay
for your tickets
for our tour.
Oh,
like we just had to pay for our tickets, but then I got like 3 photo jobs when I was there. So that paid for mine. And then, like just taking some, like press shots for a label. And then our drummer played for Herman's Hermits, so he has like a million
Or
miles.
you told me this, yeah.
So he paid like the taxes, which are like $100.
That's so
and then
funny.
Chris paid for his, but he's like a computer programmer. He has like tons of money, I guess. I don't
He
know.
figured it out how to
But
do
then,
it. Yeah.
but then everything else, they're like, once you get here, everything's paid for. So like you guys get yourself here, and then the traveling, the hotels, everything will be paid for because you guys are on. Like the American band bumps us up just a little bit, and so we can pay. And so we got to like fly from Sydney to Brisbane, whatever, like these little flights and stuff. It was really fun.
It's so cool.
But it was because we're friends. It had nothing to do with anyone liking our music.
It's important to remember that while you're there.
Yeah. But it was really fun though. But we just played loud, heavy music, and we're playing in like kind of like little tiny theaters and then bars, but like we played the Tote, and we played, I don't know. You guys played over there before?
In Australia?
Played in Australia?
Oh yeah, twice. Yeah. We did 2 tours.
Okay. So there was some spot, but yeah, it was awesome. I don't know. I feel like music really, I mean, it's what brought me to LA in general, just being a music photographer. And then, but even the band thing, like being in a goofy band, like it being able to open up for our friends and play locally. And then every time people would come back, like when the Bronx would come back into town, we'd open up for them. And like all of these, like that kind of cyclical thing that music like did for me, as like, it's like all the people that I still know are because of tours.
Yeah.
Like because of meeting people when they came through, and like people would stay at our house or stay at our friend's house and take them out for lunch and go do, and you'd meet all of these people because you have these roving band of weirdos that would come through town. And I guess even when we had the radio show, it was like the majority of it too, because then people would come by our show and it was just people on tour and needed some, whatever. Everyone's trying to get one more song out there to 4 more people who are listening.
Well, it's the never-ending promotion tour of it all too. Yeah, you realize at some point it's just always one thing is begets the next, and you go like, wait, what am I doing? Yeah. Why am I doing any of this? What am I doing this? Why am I here? Who are these people? Yeah, and then it becomes existential in some weird way. You're like, do I even like doing this? Who am I?
Turns out I'm here just to meet people.
Yeah,
and that ends up like creating this, I don't know, this like community, this roving community.
Yeah. Oh, it does.
Like, yeah, it's awesome.
What was I going to say? Oh, I've had, switching gears. I've developed a new obsession. You were talking about like, shooting photos and just documenting place and time and stuff. I've become obsessed with the Rockford Files. It's this great TV show starring James Gardner in LA in the 70s. And it's kind of like, Murder, She Wrote or Columbo, but I really like James Gardner. He's awesome. He's really good. And the cars are awesome. They're all like 70s, like big cars, big American cars. And LA just looks so different. It's all hand painted signs and phone booths. And it's just great. I don't know. There's something very nostalgic.
What's the story of the Rockford Files? Is he a cop?
Is
he a lawyer?
He's a private eye, best I can tell. Okay. And he lives in a trailer that's parked in the parking lot of Paradise Cove, which is like a beach in Malibu where they have like a restaurant. You have to pay $25 to park there. But back then, I guess he could just park his trailer, this private eye, and be based out of there. And his dad is a truck driver. I just started season 2 and it's fun. So
he gets hired. He gets hired by a client.
Yeah. Like this one I just saw was this woman was running. She was a model, but she was running from the model. Something happened. She got murdered. They found her the next day. And his friend, who's a lawyer, said, "Oh, she was my best friend. She wouldn't have killed herself. Like it wasn't an accident. It was murder." So then the lawyer hires him to investigate the murder. And he finds out that the modeling agency was really being funded by the mob. And the guy from the mob was going to sell a modeling agency, but he kept a little black book with all the transactions of all the bad deeds he did. And the model was going to go to the cops because he was having an affair.
She found it.
She found the black book and they were having an affair. So he had to silence her and it was just it was rotten all the way to the top. And it's great. It's so fun. I love these shows. They're great. It's like Magnum PI, but it's LA in the 70s. It
does
looks
he
so cool.
like? Does he? Is each one its own thing, or does it go?
Yeah, for the most part, there's no big
the
central.
He cracks the case
arc
by the end.
Yeah.
And then it starts over the next one.
Exactly. Yep. And the song's great. It's this kind of cool, kind of funk, like synth sort of thing. I should definitely find it. Maybe for the next episode, I'll play it on here.
Bring it up.
Do 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 do. Yeah, it's kind of like The songs are so
that
good.
was the job back then, right?
I wish.
I mean, those guys would
job
make
now.
millions. Like you just had to get one jingle, like one beginning of
Mike Post. I mean, he had all of them. Mike Post was the guy in the 80s that had like the A-Team and like Hunter.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. He's incredible. I follow him on Facebook. He's still alive.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun. He did Law and Order. Dun, dun. Yeah, he did all of them. Mike Post was like the man. So good.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What about Airwolf?
Oh,
what's
I don't know the
Airwolf.
I don't know that one.
We
gotta go down a rabbit hole.
I wonder how many of those I would be able to.
We should play name the song from how old are we really? How can we how alienated can we make anybody listening to this under the age of 45?
Listen, a good band should want to alienate most people.
Okay.
To find out who the true fans are.
I'm telling you, but
podcast should be the same.
The Rockford Files. Yeah, my 11-year-old was not interested at all. I was really trying to get him interested. I was like, well, look at that car. That's a huge like Suburban with like a roll cage and like extra like lights on top of it. That's incredible. Is that Trans Am? And they do real like car chases, which is great. Like almost every episode, like, they're squealing around. It looks like they're somewhere in like Van Nuys or Sylmar or like North Hollywood, right by Universal Studios, on Lankershim, just like peeling out in these rad like 70s cars and like hubcaps flying off, and it's great. And you really think about it, it's like these are real guys and real cars and real film and a camera, filming real things, and it's just like, oh yeah, it just feels so different. It looks like art. It looks closer to like not Roth. I know the Sun, who documented all Sunset Boulevard. Where you just see like the whole street. Who's the artist who took photos of all of Sunset?
Ed Ruscha.
Ed Ruscha. Like Ed Ruscha, yeah. It feels like these 80s and 70s TV shows feel like Ed Ruscha, like paintings or photographs, but they're beautiful. All the color, and it's all on film. It's shot in summer daylight, of LA, and all the hand painted signs, and all the fashion's cool, and everyone looks so cool, and everyone's smoking, and it's not like I don't know. It just was really, I don't know. Maybe it's just nostalgia, but I'm enjoying it in a real kind of like entertainment way. I found it for free on the Roku channel.
That's awesome.
I think I'm also enjoying like not supporting so many subscriptions. Like, well, there's free stuff out there too, right? Like if I were not to pay subscriptions to all these evil tech billionaires, like, is there other ways? Is other forms of entertainment? Maybe Roku's owned by some kind of like mole man who like is going to invade the city of Atlantis, some kind of comic book monster. But for now, he's got Rockford on there. Thank you, Mr. Roku.
I don't know what. Like it's all. I mean, it's like if you're driving your car, you're supporting.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know where Arco gets its gas, but I do know that I do know that I know where the 3 cheapest Arcos are, and I feel like I'm sticking it to the man every time I fill my car up.
It's the little victories.
I'm like, I can't tell anybody I'm still getting gas for $3.99.
Keep it to yourself.
I know the one place. I don't know. I do think that nostalgia, it does feel like nostalgia, but it also is it's like that moment where California like stuck its flag into the zeitgeist of like, here's what it's going to be the rest forever. It's going to be the 80s, like whatever we thought of the California in the 70s and 80s is what everybody's going to think California just is. It's like the beach.
This is it.
It's sunny, car chases. It's like Malibu. It's Beverly Hills. It was like the like Oh my God.
This is it.
Look at that trailer.
Trailer parked right on Paradise Cove. Oh yeah. It's fantastic. And he's got the cool Trans Am he parks there. It's totally,
and there would never be anybody parked there ever.
No,
of course.
Yeah, you couldn't have that just parked right there. And I think there was a pier that's not there anymore, but it's very like Lethal Weapon. Remember, like, what's his name? Right. Mel Gibson just had his his car parked, or his trailer right on the beach.
Just lived in a trailer.
Yeah,
it was a big thing in the 80s, huh?
I must have been
like the trailer,
or houseboats. Like, maybe you get a houseboat going.
Yeah, like the guy that just needed to be like, you know what, man. I'm running on my own time.
Yeah,
I don't need a house. I don't need a white picket fence. I got my trailer and I'm just solving crimes.
Got Trans Am in a trailer and a sports coat.
That's all I need is a Trans Am trailer. Look at that. They're like meeting.
Yeah, I'm in my 50s.
Right by the ocean.
Yeah. It was great. But
everybody,
so many of the corners
kind of like.
Oh, sorry. What were you going to say?
No, I was going to say everybody at that point can look at that and just go, I would take a trailer at the beach. That doesn't look so bad.
Yeah, right?
I don't need to live in some neighborhood. I want to be by myself in the trailer on the beach for a little bit.
But the thing is, all the neighborhoods, it just reminds me so much of all the little areas I drive by. You know, like, oh, that's what it used to look like. You know, like these gas stations used to just be a guy. You know, and I feel like those were all the little things. And maybe, again, this could just be just getting nostalgia. But just seeing all the corners of the valley in Southern California and just being like, that's cool.
Are you old enough to have
this truck
first
cool truck
and paid later?
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah. I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, we used to just pump gas and then you'd like look at the numbers and go like, well, it's $8. It wasn't even $8. It'd be like $6.10. And then you just go in and pay afterwards.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's a lot of trust back then. Back in those days.
Yeah. Then you had to pay before you pumped. But look at these cool trucks. It's like the GMC sponsored.
That's amazing. I love it.
Yeah. This is the one. I was like, yeah, okay. Like this would be fun today to still have. This is a GMC Sierra classic pickup from the Rockford Files.
Yeah.
It's like gray, gunmetal gray, and like,
with red. Where did he get all these cars?
Crimson. I don't know.
Was he like a car guy, or was he borrowing cars from his like lawyer buddies?
Like
or
Magnum PI. I think the truck belonged to the dad. Yeah, the Trans Am was his. It blew up in the last episode, and then beginning of the next one, he just had it. The gold Firebird was just back. So I don't really know. You
got to know a guy. Everyone knows a guy.
Somehow it just worked.
This is a good Trans Am.
I'm telling you, man. If you're looking for something free to watch, it's out there. And it's a lot of history. So that's like my takeaway. Anybody looking for free media, see something cool. Oh yeah.
What was the Quentin Tarantino movie?
Oh yeah, exactly. Sunset. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Once Upon a Time.
Yes, it looks like that. Absolutely. Maybe a little bit more 70s, a little less 60s. Yeah. But less still, 60s. It's just, yeah. It's just you get a place for the things that don't exist anymore. Gibby's Place was a restaurant bar located at 13300 Ventura Boulevard in Sherman Oaks. Just driving by.
So a ton of it.
Driving by,
But see, that's restaurants, what, like even
places. And you're like, oh,
like at a Beaumont where I teach, it still looks like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of areas that still look like that out here.
I mean, yeah, definitely, and you still get that. Like every once in a while when an old car drives by any of those places and you're like, oh, right. This is like, this place kind of stopped. Like the LA area kind of stopped
evolving past Pomona.
In the 70s and 80s a little bit.
Yeah.
And then, but this, I don't know. It's kind of like everywhere. It's like you have the pre-internet and then post-internet where now when anything new starts, it kind of all looks similar.
Yeah.
You have like the same wooden shelves and you have the same like stacks of sodas. You're like, oh, I saw that on some blog somewhere.
I mean, my little area here, it's not too different. I mean, there's still a lot of stuff left frozen in time. And then, you get over even like where I grew up, like West Covina, Pomona out there. A lot of that stuff is still pretty much frozen in time. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you get a lot of places in Redlands.
It's funny though. I look at it and I see so many skate spots. Also, I was like, "Ooh, did anybody skate that back then?" Yeah.
But I'm starting to think, like, because I moved here in 2000, and that was 25 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And when I look at all those old, like, a lot of those old places look more like these places that you're showing me now than they do now. Like, they were more tied.
Back in
Like,
the 2000s?
I remember LA being more tied to, like, looking like the 80s and 90s, like with all the bars and
totally
bowling alleys and all that stuff hadn't really modernized, because LA was kind of stuck in this weird in-between place.
Yeah.
Where people weren't really investing here.
Well,
like,
the real estate hadn't, I mean, it's gone through different bubbles, but at that point, it was kind of prior to that 2008, big push,
Yeah, like Orange County was expensive, and the Valley was kind of like Toluca Lake, and places like that were kind of expensive. But like Echo Park and Silver Lake still were like in this weird, like,
oh yeah, the ramp.
Everybody kept talking about how Echo Park, like, oh, next year.
Oh yeah.
It's like they're going to upgrade Echo
like,
Park, whatever. And it took 25 years. And then all of a sudden, money came in to fix up some places, whatever. But for so many years,
that Pioneer Chicken just closed. I mean, that Pioneer Chicken had been there for decades. Did you ever go to the Ramp Steaks and Cocktails right by the Hollywood or the Burbank Airport, right on Hollywood Way, right before you get on the it looks like this now, but it's it just looks like it's a dive bar. It's like a dive bar kind of restaurant.
No, I never
it's
went
right
there.
on the on ramp from the Burbank Airport, going onto the 5 freeway.
Ramp.
Yeah.
Oh, the Burbank Airport. I used to love the Burbank Airport.
It's still there, right? That's another place kind of frozen in time.
I know. We go to the Ontario Airport now.
No,
the best.
They probably fixed that up.
I mean,
I haven't been there in a while.
It's tiny. Yeah. It's as small as Burbank.
That's amazing. Awesome. All right. Well, we should wrap it up. Everybody go see.
Next on real estate in the 70s. Hyphenate halftime real estate hour.
Do you like conspiracies and TV shows from the 70s? Boy, have we got the show for you. Yes. Make sure to like and subscribe, tell your friends, and turn your automatic downloads on so you don't miss a thrilling minute of this groundbreaking podcast event of the century.
It's unreal. I'm shaking. I'm so excited.
We're just with the bleeding edge technology. We're all of this technology at our hands, and this is what it's used for.
This is what we do.
Now we just need to turn this all into AI of us two kinds of aliens or small Pixar looking children. We'll go ahead and burn down a rainforest to make our faces look slightly different than they do already. And
it's worth it. If I can look like a polar bear talking to a panda bear, we're good.
Perfect. All right, there we go. Technology.
And listen to Golden Apples.
There we go. Yep. And go see them live too. They're out on tour now. All right.
Yeah.
See you.
Oh yeah. Weren't you going to play someone's band?
Oh yes, that's right. Yes. Thank you so much for remembering to remind me. I was contacted, which you should also contact us at hyphenatehalftime@gmail.com. Send us your music. This music that we're playing here at the end comes from Andrew W. Allison from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He appears to have a solo noise project. The record he sent me has a picture of a naked man in it. Okay. So I appreciate you, Andrew, for selecting that record. There are several other records or EPs, but you thought this was the one to send me. So I appreciate it.
It's going to be good.
Yeah. The song or the track I'll be playing is Truck Radio. It's in kind of ambient noise piece. And I dig it. And it's cool. And you're coming from Pittsburgh, and our guys from Golden Apples are there in Pennsylvania. They're in the Philadelphia area. And I think they were northern Pennsylvania. And then, so yeah, I figured that it seemed appropriate. Pennsylvania in the house representing. So I think he just goes by Andrew W. Allison. You could find I have it in the show notes. There's a link there. Wallison @bandcamp.com. And this is on album A. But he's got lots of albums there. And if you like weird music from cool people in Pittsburgh, go check it out. Go check out his Bandcamp. So there we go. Have fun. We'll see you on Thursday.